Hi, I'm Daniel, the service manager at the Elms Century. Today we're going to go over a few things about the snowblower. We're just going to do some basic checks. Some things you want to check is the oil. The snowblower has a dipstick. You want to pull it out, and there's a line that the oil should be between these two dots. If it's not, then you may have to add oil. You definitely don't want to run the engine without oil. And speaking of oil, if you need to change your oil, you probably want to run it for a couple of minutes to warm it up to get the oil circulating. And here on the back is actually where the oil drains out. You'd have to remove this plug right here to remove the drain of oil. And then obviously you will fill the oil back up at the top. And then you'd have to recheck the level again. If you're going to be storing it with gas in it over the winter, you probably want to add a fuel stabilizer. According to the instructions, you would pour the fuel stabilizer here. This will help keep the gas stabilized when it's sitting for a long, extended period of time. Next thing we're going to cover is there's belts under this black cover. I just took the liberty to loosen up the screws already. As you can see in here, there are 3 belts. You want to check for cracks, the condition of them, the tension, make sure nothing looks loose. And then, that's where we want to make sure that the belts are in good condition. You might want to have some spare belts if you don't. Then I'm going to move over. If everything is working correctly and your belts are nice and tight, when you are engaging the auger in your snowblower and you release the auger handle, the auger should stop. If it doesn't stop, do not operate your snowblower because it's a safety hazard, and you want to make sure that you get that corrected, because there's nothing worse than an auger spinning and you actually get too close to it, it grabs you, you stick your finger in it. We don't want any accidents to happen to you. On my particular snowblower, I have the instructions on how to start it. It's very straightforward. It goes from 1 to 5, and that's how you would start it. You can do this to make sure that your gears are working. You can turn this to do the directional. If you don't need to shoot the snow up really high, you can actually lower it down to shoot more of an angle down at the ground. Obviously, you don't want to have it up high, shooting all in the parking lot, shooting at people. Safety is always important when you're removing snow and shooting it in directions. And you can turn it the opposite direction when need be. Other than that, it's not much. Oh, another thing you want to keep an eye on is your skids. Obviously, you can see that mine have been worn down. You definitely want to have an extra pair for however many snowblowers you have. And also shear pins. Shear pins are really important. These are the lifeline of snow removal when you're out in the middle of the snow and one of these snaps. If one of these snaps, your auger will not move. You will have to put a new shear pin in. If you don't have any shear pins, it's going to create more work for you. Other than that, that's all I have on the snowblower. Thank you.